Hello PokeMoshPit, my name is PenguinX and this is my second battle on the Mosh Pit. This is another standard OU battle against DoctorHoyle from YouTube, whose link will be left in the description I guess. And yeah, so we both lead out with Heatrans. Because I am Modest Life Orb, I know I'm going to be outsped by any other timid set such as Timid Shooker or Timid Specs, both of which want to KO with Earth Power, so I'm kind of fearing that. He switches out as well, so I'm guessing he's either going to be Modest Life Orb as well, or he's just not carrying Sugarberry and he's kind of fearing me to outspeed and kill him with Earth Power, and he just want to risk that speed tie. So, I'll go into Rotom to take the Earth Power if he goes for it, because I know he's probably not going to want to overheat turn 1, because that'd be stupid. I do get 2 Shadow Balls off, but he hits up his rocks, and he's going for the Ice Beam here. I'm guessing that's so he can scout to see if I have leftovers or not. And at this point, he's probably guessing Choice Scarf because no Life Orb, no leftovers. Pretty much nothing, and I'm still using the same move over and over again. So he goes into Heatran here to take the next Shadow Ball. I do get Special Defense drop, but that didn't really matter because this Hydro Pump is super effective. Expert Belt boosted because I am an Expert Belt Lore Rotom, and that's going to take it out. So yeah, there's a really cool Rotom set. It's Expert Belt with Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Pain Split. Max special attack and speed with 4 HP EVs. And it basically just lures in most of Scarf Rotom's counters, stuff like Heatran, as you saw on Choice Lock Shadow Balls, stuff like Sizzle on Choice Lock Shadow Balls, which gets KO'd by Thunderbolt after Spike's Stealth Rock damage, and that 1 Shadow Ball on the switch in. And Tyranitar is also KO'd by an Expert Belt, but boosted Hydro Pump after Spike's as well. So it's pretty cool. So it gets to Gengar. I'm going to switch out of Rotom because I'm kind of fearing that Shadow Ball. I'm going to Sizzle because it's the only thing on my team that can actually take on a Gengar even. And yeah, Gengar's a bit of a bitch in my team, I'll be honest. I go for the Bullet Punch, and I thought I was a specially defensive Choice Band set, which is a really, really good set. It sacrifices a bit of power for like 180 something special defense, but it means you can like take special hits from stuff like Offensive Suicune, Jolteon, I guess, and other stuff much easier. So turns out I'm just a standard Choice Band set. So he switches out and goes into his Swampert, which is a fairly obvious switch. It's called Wooper for whatever reason. I'm guessing it's because they're both based on Axolotls. But yeah. So I'm going for a Shadow Ball here with my Rotom. I went to Flygon, then you turned out because I thought he might want to try and go for the Earthquake with my Heatran switch, which is why I went into Rotom if you didn't get that. I do get a point special defense drop, and he gets a crit, which again is pretty much pointless because looking at the rest of his team, Rotom wasn't really going to be that helpful, and this is very good for me because when he brings in Flygon now, when he U-turns out, it's going to KO, and I do get switch advantage, which is cool. So he does go for the U-turn and goes into his Celebi, I think. And I'm going to choose to go into my Heatran because it's the best thing in my team to take on Celebi. I do have a Scarf Flygon, but U-turn's not going to one-hit KO if he's very defensive. If he's offensive set, which are pretty rare, it will one-hit KO, but I'll be doing 70% max to defensive Celebi, and he can just recover up, and after leftovers and recover, he's going to be taking like 10% net damage overall that turn, so it's pretty pointless. So I go to Heatran, go for the obvious overheat as he brings on a Kingdra, and I'm guessing it's going to be Chest Arrest Kingdra, and for some reason this Heatran has leftovers. I don't even know, I only just noticed that now, which is kind of stupid. I go for the rocks because I know that since he's Chest Arrest, I can take a Waterfall if he gets minimum damage roll, which luckily for me he does. And now I'm guessing he's fearing an explosion from me. I know he probably wouldn't want to set up in case I did have explosion. So he's going to go to Gengar, and I don't have explosion. I don't have a clue why he switched out then after he'd already outspared. I'm guessing he just wants to free switch into his Gengar, which he does get, and he goes to Focus Blast. I really don't know why he did that. I'm guessing because he wants to keep his Kingdra for later and doesn't want to get revenge by Flygon or something. I don't know. But yeah, staying in there was kind of... Well, switching out with Kingdra there was kind of a stupid move. So I go into Sizzle now. I'm going to go for the U-turn, taking a switch, because looking at my team's pretty Gengar weak. And I'm guessing he's seen that as well and wants to keep Gengar as long as possible. He goes into a Celebi as I go for the U-turn, which I wouldn't say was a good prediction from me, more of a terrible prediction on his part. Yeah, that really wasn't a good move. I was kind of predicting a switch into Kingdra to take the Bullet Punch, and he could potentially get Dragon Dance up there. But yeah, so Celebi was a bad switch. I mean, nothing on his team really wanted to take a U-turn apart from yeah, even Gengar would be taking quite a lot. It wouldn't be able to have a sub after that U-turn. So nothing on his team was really wanting to take a U-turn at that point anyway. So after some various switches, I get in Lucario on his Outrage locked Flygon, and I'm going to go for the close combat. That was sort of, yeah, that is kind of 50-50 guess between going for Crunch or close combat. Crunch would have hit the Gengar switch, and close combat hit the other two Pokemon on his team. I'm guessing if it switched in Kingdra, predicting my Crunch, but even then I would have outsped him. Yeah, I don't know what his plan was there. I mean, if I went for Crunch, he switched in his Kingdra. He could have then made a switch back into Gengar on the close combat and Focus Blasted. But that's the only reason I could see he went into Kingdra. Yeah, basically, I guess he's playing conservative with Gengar. So I go into Flygon now to go for the Outrage, and pretty much in sweep from now. I think he's only got his Flygon left, which is also Scarfed. He does actually tell me at the end here that he isn't Adamant Flygon, and I am Jolly, because I just prefer Jolly over Adamant because it outspeeds stuff like Serpentine and Polion at +2, and a Gelagross at +2, and Scarf Jirachi, which is still not very common anymore, but just in case someone uses it, it's decent. Decent to outspeed that. Well, speed type at least with it. So yeah, good game of Hoyle. Props and slops here. Slops, Suicune did nothing, but that's sort of a prop because it meant I played decently at least. Other slops, Flygon cleaned up, but didn't really get to do anything else really. I mean, it took out a weakened Gengar and then took out a slower Flygon, but it wasn't really that important. Lucario didn't do much. I mean, close combat that Kingdra switch in, but that was more because of a misplay on his part. Same with Scizor. U-turn, that was a bad move by him. I mean, I didn't play particularly well with Scizor. I could have played much more conservatively to make sure I didn't take damage down from Focus Blast. I could have just foddered Heatran much earlier, but I didn't. So yeah. So props. Rotom Wash was an absolute beast. Definitely the MVP. Yeah, so you should also check out that set. It's pretty cool. So thanks, DoctorHoyle. Good game. Comment, like, subscribe, and